Hello to you, my fellow Dark Ones. How are you guys doing today? How's life? So if you guys remember last episode, using Creative Tank and Polonium 8, we did manage to get infinite antimatter. Well, it's not infinite, but it's faster and we don't need a reactor. And yes, I bypassed the limit on the SPS chamber, so we're getting it a teeny tiny bit faster. There was a huge backlog. So what is the plan for today? Good question. Well, what I want to try and do is to get the creative chemical tank. It does require a bunch of gizmos, and I think we are going to need 2 of them. So the first thing that we are going to need, am I flying? Yes. So the first thing that we are going to need is the creative alloy. And if I'm not wrong, that actually does require a bunch of infinity 10s. So let's get 10. Still, it's a bit expensive, but thankfully we did manage to upgrade our Botanio area. So this should go fine. While that is getting prepared, let's get rid of these ultimate chemical tanks. They're different pigments, 16 of them in total. You know, it's because we have 16 colors in Minecraft, and I'm not exactly sure how to make pigments. Oh, there are extra colors. Well, we start with the 16. In order to make the pigment tanks, what I have done is that we have a pigment extractor, we have an EMC link, and we're exporting the dyes, we're converting it into pigments, and I'm doing 8 at a time. However, I just realized something which is really not that amazing. Honestly speaking, I could be wrong, but if you look at the recipe of the creative chemical tank, you might notice that these tanks have no owners. And yeah, the ultimate chemical tanks that I have also in my inventory don't have an owner. But the moment that you place them down, they will get an owner. And that's me. So if it doesn't work, we will fill in the recipe, cheating the creative tank. But that is 8 of them. Not all of them are pigments though. For example, if we go to our mechanism area, some of them are fissile fuel, which we do have a bunch. That's full. And we have to fill in 2 of them. I think we also need uranium hexafluoride, so let's fill in that one as well. And you see, now that I've broken them, me is the owner. It's a good thing that I checked, because there's actually a lot of them that we have to fill in. For example, we need hydrogen, which is easy peasy, we do have a massive buffer. Oxygen is another one, which we do have a massive buffer. I'm collecting 2 tanks, obviously. I think I also saw sodium. I already picked up the sulfuric acid, don't you worry. Oh, it's chlorine. So, it's that one? And is my fissile fuel ready? No, we have to wait. That one is actually full. Yeah, it's okay. I'll wait 1 minute. Aha, so our first set of pigments are ready, and unfortunately I did make a boo-boo. These are ultimate chemical tanks for oxygen and hydrogen. I had to use an overclocked chemical tank, so these are kind of garbage. Also, on a very positive note, it seems that the owner does not really matter, because I did check and everything does go in. Let me show you. Yeah, you see? That one is uranium hexafluoride and it's already in. A bit of a time later for me, I got new glasses, so if I bump into walls, don't laugh at me. And well, there has been some progress update. So first things first, one of the tanks that I have missed was red. And yeah, it's getting full. And if you notice, both of them are getting full, which is great. So we also need 8 multiversal chemical tanks, but we're going to make 4 of them right now. I'm trying to avoid wasting better gold. This is why I only ordered 4 of them. Because there is a very high chance that I would be able to get a creative Abyssal, where is it? Yeah, this guy over here, before I need extra antimatter or anything else. It's just a hope. I'm not sure. But another thing that we ran out of was Abyssal ingots, and well, it has been crafting for the past 6 hours. I ordered 5 million, so this should go on for another, I don't know, 8 hours. But on a very positive note, we're never ever going to need that again. You might also notice that there are a few chemical tanks missing from the recipe which are not pigments. Yes, I did put in the hydrogen and oxygen, but we have tritium, antimatter, oldemodium, unobtainium, vibranium, etc. So let us try to take care of them as well. Anyways, as you guys probably know, tritium comes from heavy water, I suppose. Now it comes from lithium, which somehow got messed up. It's okay. We just void the fluid, not the brine, the fluid, not the person. And yeah, we're getting lithium. The rotary condensator can stop working, I suppose. And I'll try to gather some lithium. Oh, that's a fluid. Yeah, we need the rotary condensator. It does seem that we need a ton of lithium in order to convert it into tritium, and that is going to take some time, maybe half an hour or so. Because you know, our machines are not the best, but it's fine, I can wait. However, in the meantime, when I was looking at the recipe of the creative tank, yeah, we also need deuterium. That comes from heavy water, I hope. Yeah, that is true, it comes from heavy water. So I have made myself 2 pumps. We're going to have 2 buckets of water, 2 source blocks should be more than enough. However, we are going to need a filter upgrade from mechanism. Well, actually, 1 for each pump. Also, let's not make the same boo-boo that I always make. Let's place the pump, install the upgrade first, and then we put them on a source block of water. Yeah, we're getting heavy water very slowly. I installed some upgrades, that's a decent speed. We put it inside an electrolytic separator, we get deuterium and oxygen. We don't need the oxygen, obviously. And yeah, that is deuterium. Perfect. As usual, that will also take some time. Also, since we have like sextillions of EMC, let's dupe some of these upgrades. I'm tired of crafting them. And I have just realized we never made the transmutation tablets. Why? There is a very high chance that I was lazy, but let us have a pattern. And let's see what we're missing. That's not much. I think we're just missing some patterns. Let me do that. I'll be right back. Yeah, we are not missing that many items. The only thing that we're missing is the weak blood shard. We have half a stack. I didn't pay attention. I needed some tiles, but that should be everything if I'm not wrong. Yeah, we have everything. Perfect. Give me. Oh, it's done. Thank you so much. We're gonna learn it, obviously, because I think it has one use. Yeah, Tome of Knowledge, we're not gonna make that, even though we can. A bit painful, but we can. Because honestly speaking, I don't really want to unlock everything. Yeah, but the tablet is good. If I want upgrades, I can just pull it out. If I learn them, obviously. Now we come to the semi-complicated part. It's actually not that complicated, but there are a few steps involved. So we do need clean aldemodium, vibranium, and unobtainium slurries, right? It is going to be an elite chemical tank, so it's 1000 ores. Obviously, the slurry comes from the ore or the raw ore, which we don't have access to them. But thankfully, we can craft the ores using a combiner, which we do have a factory, so how do you work? It's up west. So up and west. Can I make 2048 aldemodium ores? Oh, I did not put in the pattern. Yes, it's a crushing recipe, not a big deal. Well, we can. And it's being crafted. Perfect. I think you need 2048 ores, right? One ore gives you one bucket. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. Cool. Yeah, I think you need only 2048 ores for each and every one. Actually, it wasn't a very complicated thing to do. I have a chemical dissolution chamber, I have sulfuric acid, I'm exporting the aldemodium ore, we're getting the dirty slurry, it goes inside a chemical washer, we're washing it with water, and we get the aldemodium slurry. Obviously, I have to do this twice for aldemodium, and I have to do the same thing with unobtainium and vibranium. It's not really a big deal, but since we have good machines, I'm doing everything in stacks. And I already forgot how this thing used to work. Up west. Okay, I was correct. It's just that we don't really have enough netherrack, so we EMC some. Probably more than enough. Yeah, definitely more than enough. Again, vibranium is going to be the same number. Yeah, that is perfect. I do the same thing with unobtainium. Vibranium is almost done. And we have our first aldemodium. We're making progress. Yeah, the rest of them seem to be pigments, except deuterium, which we are already making, and antimatter. That's also not a big deal. We almost have enough antimatter. You know, at least for one recipe, yeah, 242. So by the time I get the rest of the items, we should have our antimatter. We have both aldemodium slurries, which is perfect. And yeah, the number was correct. You see, both machines are empty. So we can export vibranium. I did not really have to do this for unobtainium because, yeah, we have 340,000 ores. I got all the slurries, we even have the deuterium, but I missed two things. One of them is sodium, which is going to be super easy because we have a massive buffer. The other one is sulfur trioxide, which is a bit weird. Yeah, that one. We don't really have a massive buffer is the thing. Oh, we do. I think it's enough for 2 tanks. That's all we need. More? Okay. It was enough for 3 tanks. So while we are here, was that everything? Yeah, sodium, sulfur trioxide. Yeah, I think that's everything. I have also prepared some extra pigments, let's take them as well. And since we need 2 sets, let's fill in 1 more set of tanks. So, if I'm not wrong, we're not missing that much, it's just antimatter and the neutronium collector, which we never made. Neutronium collector is an epic crafting table. Who is epic? You? Yes. Again, a bit of a weird pattern, but who cares? Yeah, we can't really craft it, we're missing a bunch of items, but it's just blocks. Rose quartz. What is rose quartz? Oh, whatever it is, we have almost 1 million. I did set up all the patterns, especially for the quartz, but I think the numbers are going to be wrong. Because our machines are ultimate factories, so it does have a stack, right? Yeah, let's craft some of them manually, we don't need that much. So can I have a neutronium collector? Lovely. It should take some time. And we don't have antimatter, but that's easy to fix, we just need to take a nap. But yeah, the neutronium collector is also ready. Now we can collect neutronium. Now I just need to AFK for antimatter. That's it. Oh, wait a minute. Tritium. I forgot about that one. We need 16,000 buckets, and yes, we have plenty. That was lithium, by the way. I'm aware of that. We just need to put it inside a solar neutron activator, right? Can I put you on top? Yeah, that's tritium, which is an ultimate chemical tank. We need two of them. Also, what happened? Oh yeah, output. It's not fast at all. Yeah, it does 60 millibuckets per tick. Well, that is perfectly fine. We can triple the speed. We can go crazier than that. Yeah, we go 5 times the speed. That should be more than enough. Guess what? I had to add more solar neutron activators, but that's a tank full of tritium. And we're just going to make one more tank. In the meantime, we don't have enough antimatter. 3 left. You know, I wasn't expecting it to be that slow. Maybe I should start making 2 creative gas tanks. We use one of them for antimatter. I have been AFK for a few minutes and it's been nighttime. Is this the final antimatter pellet? No, there's one more. Well, I had a bed. No, it's called sleeping mat. Okay, we take a nap. Yeah, the next one should be the final one. Finally. Also, I just wanted to show you, over here we're consuming 400 million RF per tick. Anyways, let's try to convert everything. So over here I do have an export bus. Yeah, that is set for antimatter. So let's get 255 buckets. That should convert everything. And we put it inside the chemical tank. And maybe this time with some acceleration cards. And just out of curiosity, we're not missing anything else, right? Yeah. Yeah, we're literally waiting for 60 millibuckets of antimatter. Give me the final pellet, please. Yeah, I couldn't wait that long. Okay, it's ready. We got it. Lovely. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the creative gas tank. Also, technically speaking, I can use this creative gas tank in order to get more antimatter so that I can make one more chemical gas tank, but we are going to keep that. Yeah, because all of our pigments are ready, tritium should also be ready. Deuterium should also be, well, it's not ready, but it will be. However, in the meantime, let's focus on something else. So remember, our goal is to get a creative Abyssal. It's basically like a creative chest. In order to make that, what we're going to need is the creative bin, which includes all the creative items. And once we get the creative bin, there's not much to it. I personally think that the next easy step is going to be the creative compressor from Pneumatic Craft. It's not very useful, but we need it. Yeah, you see? The recipe isn't that bad. And since we have the pattern, what are we missing? That's not much. If I have not done anything wrong, we shouldn't miss anything. Yep. So we can craft this, right? Why do you need so many singularities? Okay, I guess it's one of those things which is going to take some time. Oh, it's because we used infinite ingots. My bad. Although in my defense, it's only 4 of them. Making all the compressed iron is taking a fair bit of time, so let us make a pattern for compressed iron. I'm going to put it inside one of our quantum crafters. We're going to convert all the essences. And as usual, maybe with some cards. Yeah, that's a way better speed. I was making it inside the pressure chamber. We might as well just make blocks. Yeah, that should be all the blocks. Well, all the ones that we could craft, and that should be more than enough. Perfect. Cool. We have it. So that is 2 of the creative items. Let's also get a creative tank. That one we already have it on auto crafting, not a big deal. It's just that we're going through our better gold like crazy. Still haven't automated it yet, we're getting it from the mob farm. My fellow Dark Ones, the creative tank is also ready, and the next thing that we're going to make is going to be the creative nano battery. I have already set in the patterns and I have hooked up our combination crafter, this one over here. So let's see if we can actually make it, maybe not. I put it on my bookmarks, I forgot to make a pattern for it. Yeah. Now we should be able to craft it. It's relatively a cheap thing, it's just that the upgrade itself takes a bit of time. Are we done? Maybe not. Yep, it's being crafted. It's just that I think we are out of power. Maybe you need more power? 5 million RF per tick? Why? Okay, it's done. Oh, this one is actually a quest. Interesting. Anyways, I have been doing some calculations and it does seem that there's no escape from 2 things. One of them is Abyssal ingots. I have ordered 5 million of them. We already had 1.5 million maybe. Still 1 million is being crafted, but we're only left with 1.4 million. We're going through them like crazy. And the reason that we need so much of that is that for each and every Ender's Pearl, we're going to need a singularity of it. And it's 25,000 ingots. So far, the way that I'm making that is through an alloying factory and it's not the best. So because of the way that I configured it, I cannot make more than half a stack at each given time. Because you know, otherwise it will put the netherite scrap inside the input. Therefore, I have just made a pattern for creative alloying factory. Yeah, this should be the best, hopefully. It does require antimatter. It should be the best. So now the question is, yeah, That's a lot of slots. Also, we should not break it using the world breaker. Let's use a wrench. We're going to have a very small passive setup for it. I do have an applied energy 6 connection over here. I don't know, you get power from the bottom. Let us also get a few good EMC links. Import-export limit infinity, why not? And well, by exporting everything through EMC links, we are making it incredibly fast. And this time it's not being messed up, which is great. I also put it on our throughput monitor and it does seem that we're making 190 per second. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good number or not, is the thing. Well, I guess for the moment, we just call it a day. However, there's another problem. Better gold. This guy. We only have 27 of it and we're only getting it from our mob farms, from mob drops, from armors. I can AFK for it, but maybe we should come up with a better solution. Cause yeah, it's very slow. So I think in order to make better gold, we are going to need a multi-block, which is not cheap. And we do require spent nuclear waste. We can also make the block, obviously. The reason that I'm calling the multi-block very expensive is that in order to make the casings, what we need is antimatter. And 50 millibuckets. But in any case, we need one stack of glass. You know, mechanism glass, 73 APT casing, we can craft it, and apparently 4 ports. I have all the blocks and we want to assemble it over here because over here if something goes wrong, this is a brand new multi-block for me, and we're dealing with nuclear waste, at least my base will be fine. However, I thought in the meantime, maybe we should fix a few things here. So, let's have a few more rotary condensators. Rotary condensators are incredibly fast, however, they do have a buffer limit. You see, it does have a buffer of 800,000 and it does consume a bit more. So it never works at maximum speed and that is a problem. I wanted to go with the creative upgrade, you know, it's from Mechanism Extras. And to be honest with you, I can craft it, but everything is just a bucket. So I have to take a gas, convert it into a liquid. I'm not in the mood. We will just have more rotary condensators, it's easier. Remember, this is our creative tank for polonium-208. We're converting it into a gas and into polonium. And thankfully it's not radioactive. I just broke a pipe. I don't really get it. The other 2 rotary condensators were not working. Let's try to get the creative upgrade. Actually, I think there is something that we need from here. Yeah, polonium containing solution. I think the rest of them we can manage it at our base. Yeah, we even have tritium and deuterium. Perfect. Let me get to work. Minus the rotary condensating parts, it's not that difficult. I have set in all the patterns. Let's craft it. We can craft only 2, because I have only 2 buckets. It did take ages to craft, but let's put it in. Do I have to take the other ones out? Probably. It doesn't go in. Oops. This is supposed to be great. The machine does not consume energy and has no working time. It doesn't work on the rotary condensator. Oh, it does say not supported. I should have read that. Does the machine have to be from Mechanism Extras? Again, not supported. Okay, so it only works on garbage machines that we don't need. That was such a waste of time. I just wanted more polonium, but it's okay. We don't really need that. But yeah, this is the multi-block that we need to make. And let's try to fit it within one chunk. That's actually quite nice. You know, because it's purple, so we do need to have an output, I suppose. And then we need to give it spent nuclear waste. So I guess we are going to need a PRC. Do you support the upgrade? No. So I don't really know how this works, but we're going to make some polonium pellets. That should be fine. Oop, that was scary. And then what? We just give you blocks of gold? Power. Oh, it's a ridiculously slow machine. But spent nuclear waste and blocks of gold should give us better gold. And it should take ages. But it is perfectly fine. We're not in a hurry. We don't really need to have a crazy amount of better gold, so we're just gonna automate it with a hopper. Well, semi-automate it. And then we're going to extract everything into a dimensional chest. Yeah, it's going in. And I think we can just hopper in the gold. Also, I'm not exactly sure... Oh yeah, the buffer is amazing. We can have more waste. That should provide us with a decent supply of better gold. Oh, and by the way, just in case you're wondering, the reason that we need better gold is that for each infinity ingot, if I'm not wrong, you need 4 better gold? You do need a crazy amount of stuff. Oh, you need 18. For 1. Okay. Well, obviously that couldn't really happen with our mob farms. I mean, it could take another 100 hours. The issue is that we don't really want to waste 100 hours on everything. What we want to make is the creative bin, right? So that we would be able to make the creative ME item cell. Unlike the other creative items, the creative bin is apparently quite garbage, because it only has infinite storage, but it does require blocks of infinity. And well, we needed a lot of infinity ingots. So far, we have 4. Don't you worry, it's always being crafted. And so far, that's all we have for the creative bin. But hopefully next episode we will be able to make it. Don't you worry. Also, before wrapping up today's episode, I just wanted to mention something. So you might notice that I'm a bit inactive in the comment section, and I have a confession to make. I don't know if it's the medication I'm taking or there's something wrong, but reading is hard. Even concentrating on something is very hard for me, but I was told that it's going to be fixed with time. I think there has been a miscommunication between me and the doctors, because it's been 2 weeks and it hasn't been fixed. Well, I just wanted to say that I'm very sorry. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to wrap up today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.